ladies and gentlemen, the debate is not about how we find the criminal, but it's about how we treat them, right? So with all saying that, oh, government bench won't be able to find the small-time criminals and they won't be able to, find them and they won't be able to punish them by pulverizing them, that is untrue. And the reasons why I will explain more in my speech, right? But let's all go back to like what I said before about the debate, right? The debate is not about how we find the criminal, but it's about how we treat them. Now, government believes that by pulverizing these criminals, these perpetrators, these corruptors, it will bring in a lot more benefit. In fact, it will annihilate the core problem, which is corruption, right? In a country, especially let's bring in the context into like a developing country, right? Now, but before I continue, let's talk about a developing country and why people in that country actually tries to corrupt, right? So people in developing countries, they try to corrupt their way out of poverty because of three reasons. First reason is because they want it fast. Now, human nature, as we know it, greed is also one of the 7 deadly sins, right? People become greedy. People cannot be satisfied with anything small or anything big that we can see that it's big, but they still won't find it fulfilling, right? So with that greed, unintended, these people that are in a developing country are slowly destroying the country by taking everything that they can. Now who is like the most common perpetrators in this context, right? Politicians. Politicians are very prone to corrupting because they have power. They have a lot of power. In fact, they have the power over the whole country, let's say, right? They have the power of the money, the economics, right? So these people want to get their money fast and want it like as big as possible. So that's one reason on why these people corrupt, right? Because they want it fast. The second reason is that because they have power. As I've said before, these politicians have power. So by pulverizing these people, they will also be stripped by their power, whether it be monetary power, whether it be political power, they'll be stripped from that all, right? And with those two reasons, it is sufficient to say that pulverizing is a good idea to make a deterrence towards all these other politicians and also all these corruptors, because these corruptors that aren't politicians will be very scared to find that they will lose all their stolen assets, and these politicians also will be scared and be more careful with what they're doing in the parliament, right? Now, why by us impoverishing them, right? Especially, let's use OO's definition, which is to make them poorer than poor, right? To put them lower on the poverty list, lower than poverty, right? And it's because it is still, why with that definition, it is still equal towards their doings, right? Justice, as we know it, it is all about equal footing. So we put these corruptors and then we pulverize them. This punishment is equal towards what they've done to the country, right? These people are villains. They revel in the misfortune of others. They take money from the government, they take money from the people, and they're very happy to do it. And so with that said, a nation has a lot of people, a lot of population, right? Let's say maybe 4 million people, right? And then like 25% of them is living in poverty. And these corruptors don't care about those 25%, and they care more about the other 75. And then with that said, like they steal the money and from the able people, and then they all become poor. See? Now with that kind of image in your head, you will understand that pulverizing these corruptors is the only way for them to understand what they're doing, right? So like two reasons, right? First, it will incentivize these corruptors to not do that, right? We are sending a message towards all the other corruptors in the world, right? That you are not allowed to be able to, take all these money, right, from the government, right? You are not allowed to corrupt anything because, it will make you poor, right? And second, right, by actually pulverizing, we're also taking these people to jail. Now, CJS, right, the criminal justice system demands that we protect both the victims and the perps, right? So by us protecting the perp, we are putting them in jail, and we're also giving them a chance to live in jail, right? We're not just making them, you know, live out in the streets and just be poor. We'll give them time in jail, but after they are out of jail, they are going to be recognized as scum of the earth. They are going to recognize as people that revel in other people's misfortunes, and job opportunities, they'll fly away. They won't be going for this guy, right? Now, for the victims is society, and let's say the perp has families, right? The families is also a victim. So with all that said, we are going to protect these victims from the tyranny of the head, which is the husband or the wife, right? All that. And we're going to fund these people. So there won't be a problem about like families, you know, having broken homes or whatnot, right? So with all that said, in conclusion, we think that pulverizing these corruptors will, one, deter the other corruptors, and will actually eventually reach the roots of corruption and will make these problems disappear. And two, there won't be any victims in this because the perp is deserved, you know, their punishment is deserved, and the victim is also guaranteed to live in government side of the house, right? Because let's be real, the rehabilitation is not going to work. Our current status quo is not going to work. Jail time for these corruptors is not going to work because they all have their money, right? Because it's not going to be confiscated or whatnot. You can afford the best jail in the world because of that stolen money. And so because fining doesn't work, rehabilitation doesn't work because no one gets any deterrence effect. So we think that pulverizing is the only way, and we're proud to propose. Thank you.